What's going on, everybody? Eric Lindquist at Stochastic here on the Odd Chopper channel, coming to you with a Tuesday edition of MLB Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. Hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell. Goes a long way for me on this video, goes a long way for you. That way you become a president of great content is going live here at our little neck of the YouTube woods. I'm doing this solo here because producer Jacob, he is off frolicking. I'm just kidding, his internet went out, but gonna record this, hopefully get this uploaded sometime in the near future here, recording after the start time of the late window of games. Usually it's like right before it that we start recording, and then I watch baseball the rest of the night and bet anything live I might want to, although haven't been betting live all that much here this season, so something to take a look at. But thank you to Baltimore and Cedric Mullins for going yard. That was very, very useful. That got us the over guaranteed, went 4-4 there, 5-4 now Milwaukee. And then well, I just saw the first at bat for Logan O'Hoppe, and boy, he smacked a single 103.5 miles per hour. So that was kind of what it was. But hopefully you guys had a pretty darn good day. Ended up on Ben Brown over 5.5 strikeouts. That was just an easy cash. Wish I had laddered that up to 8, but ended up on a pretty nice play there. Plus had some pick'em exposure. But this is actually going to be the fastest I ever do this program, purely because I don't want producer Jacob to have to edit this forever, and I want to get the plays here so the numbers don't move a ton for all the faithful viewers night before. If you're there in the early morning, obviously you kind of know that the numbers can move from time to time, and obviously you're aiming for that positive CLV. We're looking for CLV here on this program, which is why we record this night before. But I've got a weird card. I've got a couple of run lines. I've got a double pair of home runs that I want to talk about. So many things, so little time. So producer Jacob, even though you're not live with me, without further ado, let's get to the picks. And here are your lovely leans that we look at here on the side bar that I cannot see. So we're going to go Cubs Miami first off. The Cubs money line is the lean here, and they just had a horrific, horrible, terrible, no good, very bad loss there on Monday. I mean, you got offers from both Tucker and Pete Crow Armstrong. Not pretty, not great. I ended up betting Tucker. I didn't end up betting Pete Crow Armstrong. Wild stuff for both of them to go over. That is a phenomenon, the likes of which the world's never seen before. But this is a much better spot. Jameson Taillon, I actually think has sneaky strikeout upside here. I brought it up here with the Ben Brown stuff. I really think these lefties, whether it's Kyle Stowers, who's actually good, Matt Mervis, who wasn't even in the lineup because he's been awful, Jesus Sanchez, Sonoya, Connor Norby, obviously different from the right side. But anyway, my point is that there's a ton of strikeouts available here, and Ben Brown just mowed them down, even though he gave up hard contact from time to time. So something to pay attention to. You really want to zig-a-zag and probably get a little bit of exposure to something in this game. I just don't know what it is yet. Don't know what it is. Opening numbers not looking too favorable. Speaking of not favorable, I ended up betting O'Neal Cruz, and then he didn't end up in the lineup there. I had a feeling that could happen because he's been so bad against lefties this season. But anytime you see a guy with a 60.5% hard hit, 11-degree launch angle, and a 49 expected slugging, you bet them blind at plus 850 unless they're playing baseball in like a cavern. And even then, the cavern might have zero gravity, in which case the ball would fly very far. Star Trek. Anyway, we continue on our merry way. Nothing really of note. Nick Martinez, he's just good enough that this one's on the outside looking in the home run props, and we've got two of them in the same game and on the same team. That'll be fun. And Bailey Falter, you know by now, I don't really find him all that appealing, but Cincinnati numbers, we'll see who ends up making the lineup, because I think this might be a Will Benson sits spot, but Spencer Steer, you've got a number of these guys, Reese Hines and Connor Joe, kind of both getting duty there in left field, right field. So we'll see which one ends up coming to fruition for this game. And obviously PNC, not a great homer ballpark. Atlanta at Washington, over 8.5. This is a lean, but this got very close to making the card. And the main reason that it didn't is we don't have the official Atlanta pitcher. And just all of the options, whether it's Smith Shawver or Montero, just in like a bullpen spot, or, you know, whomever it might be. I think Spencer Strider makes the most sense. And that is kind of my issue here. I don't trust Spencer Strider to just have like the best stuff right from the get-go here, but it's still freaking Spencer Strider. And my data doesn't exactly want to just go out and target him, but 5.60 expected ERA in that first start, 97 pitches. Gave up one barrel, which was obviously really good. But even up against Toronto there, 5 innings, gave up the homer, The expected numbers were not as good as what I was hoping in this spot. So if it ends up being Strider that gets the ball here and it's not official on the MLB website or ESPN or any of the other sites that I utilize for starter pitcher data, or, just going over to Fangraphs and kind of like taking a look at how it is, I don't have the official starter, but I think it ends up being Strider and he's above average. So yeah, probably going to be a stay away as for right now, but yeah, almost made the card if it ends up being literally anybody else for the Atlanta side, because I would just devalue them exponentially. The Mets taking on Boston. Holmes under 4.5 strikeouts. I've been on fire with the strikeout props. Haven't missed one since 1943. That was my joke earlier in the Discord. Haha, look at me. It is me. Who else would it be? Anyway, we've got ourselves Clay Holmes in this one. 23.6% K rate, 386 expected slugging, but 4.5 in this spot. Just one of those spots that I don't think you have to try to force it. And we saw what happens with Senga. Did you notice I didn't even say Kadai Senga's name yesterday? I hated all the numbers. They were perfectly efficient and also pretty jarring to see 2.5 juiced to the over. And then it hits in the first 2 innings. It's like, yo, Boston can really get after some righties. And that freaks me out a little bit here with the Clay Holmes piece. Also, pay attention to Soto, because there's live bet opportunities where he could get pulled purely because he's just talking about not running out of the box. He seems like a little spiteful fellow, though. So, I don't know. Not something I'm going to bet pre-flop. Something I'm going to have to do live. F it, we'll do it live. Anyway, we continue on to San Diego and Toronto. Dylan Cease, K-Ladder, question mark. Don't have a lot else to add other than Toronto's really good at avoiding strikeouts, so we're not going to belabor that point too much, and I need to keep it going. Baltimore at Milwaukee, under 8.5. Yeah, let's hit pass on this one for right now. Thank you to them for hitting that over for us, but you rerun the data. This Henderson fellow, Logan Henderson, really impressive first 2 outings, but really high fly ball contact, 28.4 degree launch angle, 45.5% hard hit. The strikeout stuff looks nifty from the get-go, 40% K rate. It's only 2 starts, so I'm not going to just say that that's what it is going forward, but it's at least nice to see some major upside from the arm. And then Baltimore's been bad, but they bring a lot of lefties to the yard, and they're traditionally better than yours, but damn right, they fired their manager, and they'll have to teach you because they'll have to charge. I hit bail on that joke. Anyway, Cleveland at Minnesota, yuck. Weather is going to be awful for the next 3 days, and you saw it today. They ended up having to just basically say, nope, suspended. See you back here tomorrow. Except for I don't even know if they can play baseball tomorrow. It looks awful in the Twin Cities, just awful. And then St. Louis, not a lot better. I thought things might get better, but it doesn't look all that good for weather there either. You had a random rain delay with a pop-up storm. That's the stuff that happens in St. Louis, Kauffman Stadium, Atlanta. We got to pay attention to some of the pop-ups, but it's hard to account for, and it's really hard to account for a night before, let alone even like an hour before first pitch. That's why they're called pop-ups. The Midwest, humidity, stuff like that. And then the South. Atlanta is really notorious for that crap. Anyway, we go to Philly at Colorado, over 10.5. I almost played this. I almost played this one too. This one actually, let me double check my data. Carry the 1, 4, 9, go. Yeah, over 8.5. That Atlanta-Washington one is actually second to this one. I had 2 overs that almost made the card. So if you're really, really, really looking for something in these outrights and you didn't just skip to the likes, I know you. Then this is a pretty good ad, I think. Over 10.5, it's juiced a little bit heavier than I'd like. Minus 118. That is kind of my main stay away point, but you get the key number. You don't have to be sitting on 11. You don't push on 11. That is quite freaking useful. You get to bypass, the 5-5 game turns into 6-5, although this is just anticipated to be all Phillies, as it should be. I mean, what are we actually doing rolling out Senzatella again? What are we actually doing with our lives? And Jesus Luzardo kind of looks similar to Christopher Sanchez, although 4 kids, and I got to take all of that ass to showbiz. Colorado's up 3-2. Should have trusted the data full, but, hey, at least I got a little something on Colorado plus 2.5. Saw all of those Philly minus 1.5, 2.5 tickets on X. That made me feel a lot better. Hashtag fade the public. Hashtag don't use hashtags. Anyway, last game to cover for a lean. We went from Logan O'Hoppe. Now we got Shea. I'm going to swing from the Langoliers. From the Langoliers. I'm looking at Shea Langoliers to hit a home run, if you couldn't tell. Awesome. Let's talk Lindy 5. Friends, the Lindy 5 directly behind you. Yes, it is a beautiful time to be alive because you guys can sign up, get the premium Discord for just under $1 a day. Yes, you heard me, under $1 a day. Oh my goodness, that's so fantastic, Eric. What an amazing deal. Well, it is, because not only me in there, but we got Eitan Shander, we got Greg Ehrenberg, we got some really sharp people in this community, and I'm excited to have them there, and I'd be excited to have you as well. Come join for just $5 for your first week. Lindy 5. You don't like it? Well, it's less than $1 a day, and that seems like a pretty good deal. And if you do like it, you'll stick around and obviously have pick'em cards and tons of positive EV bets, such as things that pop up like the Ben Brown strikeout prop, like the under 5.5 strikeouts for Luis Castillo. That was so fun. Hopefully Lawrence Butler can hit a home run too. He ended up on the card. But guys, I would love to see you there. And girls, I would love to see you there as well. Although I love my wife. Want to repeat that. Lindy 5 directly behind my head, or on your screen right now. And it will be behind my head in 2 seconds right now. And away we go to the like section of the program, and we begin with the double dose of Homer. And yeah, this is like one of my favorite combinations, and we've gotten the Aranda piece right at times, we got the Brandon Lau piece right at times, but how about playing them both together against a couple of different iterations of Ryan Gusto? And this Ryan Gusto fellow, oh, Augustus, save some for later, except for he doesn't. He just hands out home runs like chocolate at Willy Wonka or something like that. Again, these jokes are not landing in my head, but they're funny. I promise when they go in and then they print, it's funny. Maybe it's not. Anyway, this guy is absolutely a dong giver. As my friend Matt Moda would say, giver of dongs. He's the dong specialist. We got 4 homers against lefties in just 12 2/3 this season, 1.89 whip against them. Yeah, we got 2 of them in Mr. Aranda and Mr. Lau, who must be played, and they must be played immediately. Anything better than plus 360 for Aranda, anything better than plus 380 for Lau, and it's been that way kind of forever. And it's not like this ballpark is going overlooked, but let me tell you, both these guys, they got the power. Too much singing today. Next game. As I said, I got to kind of do this quickly, and we got NBA to cover because my Timberwolves, you best believe I have a play from that one, and obviously was working through that with producer Jacob. Hi, he's going to be recording this late night. Come home. Too much singing. Yankees, run line. Said I was going to do a couple of run lines. This is your first of 2. I have to take a shot. I just can't imagine a world where I get Will Warren up against Patrick Corbin, and I don't take a shot on trying to isolate Patrick Corbin against an actual functioning offense in Yankee Stadium. Like, I just got to do it. Going through his expected numbers from years past, yes, I think Texas has unlocked something in terms of avoiding some of the hard contact, but he's still given up 6 homers now on the season. He's still got a 1.50 whip against lefties, of which there will be a couple that are very, very important. Hi, Cody Bellinger on a 1,000,000-game hit streak. Good to see you. Ben Rice will be back in our lives. Cheese and rice. It'll be nice. And Aaron Judge, heard he's good from the right side. So check out all of those things. You spin it to win it. And Will Warren, avoid the barrels, please. 11.8% barrel percentage, but has the strikeout stuff. Looks nifty to me. Adolis Garcia actually was popping from a home run number perspective. So if somebody's looking for something fun there, have fun. I'm probably not going to bet it, but yeah. Yankees, I already bet it. Run line, plus 110 or better. Yeah, plus 110 everywhere at the moment. Next up, Seattle at Chicago, and it just broke my heart to watch Luis Castillo. He didn't even mow everybody down. He was giving up contact, and again, only the 5 strikeouts, which is nice because we ended up betting under 5.5. Basically made this entire game a push for us, except for I bet Rowdy Tellez, and that was a quarter unit as well. So quarter unit loss. Actually, more like 0.3. Still lost money on the game, but we're absolutely going back to this first 5. I just don't believe that you can look at one game sample sizes and say that this is what it is, or this isn't. This is what it isn't. Is you ain't. Yeah, those. There you go. Somebody might like that song more. But first 5 over 4.5. I definitely like this market, and I've been running so good in this market for like a month, and it just revamped data. Went 1 for my last 4, and then ended up on a bounce back and then lost this one today. And Yeah, it is what it is. I still feel confident that the data I am looking at is correct. Have this closer to 5.5 for today with Bryce Wilson on one side, with a bullpen situation and a number of different pieces here on the Seattle side that I projected out. And yeah, Seattle, we need to just get after Bryce Wilson. That is really what this comes down to. So first 5, over 4.5. I'm stubborn. Got to dig my heels in. We got a money line. Coming up next here, Kansas City taking on San Francisco. And Hayden Birdsong is back in our live as a starter. Now, Hayden Birdsong, you can go through his data this season and you can say, oh, well, he's had a great time. 24.8% K rate. 46.9% hard hit is improved off of 50%, although neither of those are good. But look at this, 432 expected slugging. Last season, 401 expected slugging. 4.14 expected ERA is better this season next to his 2.31 ERA. But guys, it's a 2.31 ERA that is just mirages. He's been out of the bullpen all year. Now he's done long relief stuff. He's done later relief stuff. He's done a little bit of everything. Now, I was going to make a that's what I did in college joke, but we've got Hayden Birdsong starting up against Michael Lorenzen, and I'm not a big Michael Lorenzen guy, but I'm getting plus money with what I believe to be the better lineup of the two going forward. Obviously, Bobby Witt plays for one of those teams. He's pretty good. I know you could say Matt Chapman's doing things. You saw a triple-dong game from Wilmer Flores, although Wilmer Flores is not impressing me with some of his numbers, but I get the better lineup on Kansas City. I think they're going to be the better bullpen going forward, and, well, wouldn't you know it, we get Michael Lorenzen up against Hayden Birdsong, who struggled as a starter last season. Give me the plus money. Plus 115. Yeah, plus 110 or better. Put it on your card. Nothing else to say. So to recap, we have the Aranda and Lau home runs. We got the run line for the Yankees. We got the first 5 over 4.5. Kansas City money line. And now we bring it all together with the most obvious play, I think, on the board. It is Arizona taking on the Dodgers. And Ryan Nelson is one of those guys that I have a tough time figuring out what to do with, but I know exactly what to do with him when he's taking on the Dodgers, and Yamamoto is on the other side. I think if you've probably watched me do any programming about Yamamoto, you know I salivate over this guy. No, you know what. But anyway, we got 3.92 expected ERA. Also, I should learn phrasing. 13.6 degree launching, 115 max exit velocity here for Ryan Nelson. Does have some strikeout stuff that's been a little bit sneaky, but you play any righty who gives up hard contact against the Dodgers, and things are just going to look really, really good. So, oh, wouldn't you know that my mouse died? So, riddle me that, Batman. Oh, Taylor Ward hit a home run. Alec Boehm hit a home run. Everybody hit a home run while I was gone. Okay. Well, I should probably go pay attention to that, huh? Dodgers, run line. Guys, I said I was going to get out of here, so there you go. Dodgers run line. That feels really nice. You know what's also nice? Portfolio EV down at the link below. And what is Portfolio EV, you ask? Well, you can find out for yourself right now for free. 2 weeks free with promo code Lindy1. Yes, friends, that is Lindy1. Just by checking out Portfolio EV, you get an opportunity to, 1, support this program just because, hey, you get an opportunity to check out great software. And 2, you get an opportunity to make money, honey. You can build portfolios based on what is available in your state, the sports books you have. You can compare all of the sharp books to the top plays onto the board in sports like MLB, obviously, NBA still going, WNBA now rocking, and NHL. We got so many markets, so many opportunities to help you make money using a market-based approach. So check it out. Portfolio EV, the first link down there, promo code Lindy5 is for the Discord, Lindy1. That is promo code Lindy1. Take advantage of that for Portfolio EV. Alrighty, y'all, to the NBA play we go. And I'm going to put a bow on this one nice and quickly. I'm terrified. I'm terrified beyond belief. My data, yeah, I'm going to be updating it here in the morning, but as of right now, it's hard not to like 7.5 here on the Oklahoma City side, taking on my Minnesota Timberwolves. And the total looks pretty darn efficient to me at the moment, but working through props. I was actually talking with producer Jacob on the phone because he's living in, La La Land doing whatever. But I definitely feel as though Naz Reid is a little bit undervalued in this spot. Not like some crazy amount. I'm not going to flag plant this, lock this, but NBA playoffs have been very, very kind to us throughout the duration of this mean, they're smashing. All of these props have been smashing. So let's just keep the smashing going. Other than game 7, which was an absolute wash and maybe the worst thing I've ever seen, Oklahoma City and Denver. But friends, we have an opportunity to bet Naz Reid in a series that he should excel at. He excelled in the regular season against them in that home and home back-to-back. We had unbelievable games. I'm hoping we get some unbelievable games, and I don't expect my Timberwolves to make the NBA Finals, but to be in the Western Conference Finals back-to-back years, I feel, well, we've got the right pieces there. Naz Reid needs to have himself a much better series. Obviously, Golden State, we were able to pack it in. It was ugly and Steph Curry stuff. You can't do anything about that. You also had an injury on the Celtics side for the Knicks. I mean, injuries are a part of life, and they're also a part of basketball. Celtics, I mean, they got a really good run out for injuries last season on their way to a title, even though they were the best team. And, well, this year, my Timberwolves got a nice gift, but Oklahoma City is by far the best team, just by every metric left in this tournament. 4 teams. We'll cover the Eastern Conference one, but Naz Reid over 16.5 PRA. That is what we leave with. And that does it for a quick and easy edition of MLB Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. Obviously, a little NBA thrown in there. Head to the comment section below. Let me know your favorite plays that exist on the board for Tuesday. I'm going to hopefully go leave and watch Logan O'Hoppe hit a home run, have more O'Hops to it. That would make me very, very, very happy. And everybody in the premium Discord as well. Lindy5, that is down below. Would love to see you guys there. Until next time, friends, I'm Eric Lindquist. Best of luck in the MLB and NBA streets and my Timberwolves on Tuesday.